Well, shalom, everybody. I am Dave, your host, and this is Kabbalah 201, where we talk about practical Kabbalah, practicing Kabbalah in our life. Now, I'm sure you heard this argument before. It's a very famous scene in Fiddler on the Roof with Tevye, where there's a discussion going on between a few people. And the discussion pretty much goes, they talk about one thing and then another guy talk about another thing, and then one guy says, "Hey, you're right and you're right." That's a summation. Go watch it. One of my favorite movies. But we can't all be right, is the answer. Well, is that necessarily the case? It is potentially, it is possible that two people could be right about something. And yet we have the mindset that one has to be right, the other has to be wrong. How can both be right? Well, we have to understand the subject of truth in our eyes at this level, is based upon perspective. Now, when we talk about truth in terms of spirituality, that just is. There's no room for anything else but truth. But at our level, the physical reality, it is possible for two things to be right or two things to be wrong, or one to be right and the other to be wrong. Those are all the conditions that you can have. But in reality, because of a unique perspective, two people could be right on the same subject, depending on how they view things. Now, why is this the case? Well, first of all, we live in a duality universe. We live in a yes, no type thing, a black and white world type of a concept. Okay, we live in that type of a thing, a truth, a true and false condition. Now, you and I, we have a different life, different experiences, a different mission, a different purpose in our life that we've been given. So, from our perspective, the other person may appear to be wrong, but they may not be. The other person, from their perspective, could be right, and you could be wrong in their eyes. But it's because of a unique expression. That's why it's very important when you get into conversation to truly try to understand what's being spoken of. This is why it's very important for us to try to get into understanding other person's perspective. Because if you feel you're right and he feels he's right and you can't resolve that, then that means you two have two pieces of a puzzle that will come to another truth. So practice this when you are in company of others and you're discussing a topic. All right. I hope that helps. Have a great day, everybody. Shalom, shalom.